go right through it. Feel it, be in it, don't avoid it, go completely in it, and then go right through it and get out the other end.
This is so hard because I'm such an honest person, and it's so hard for me to do these kind of things because the answer is I probably take things off.
Over a decade after their highly publicized split, Angelina Jolie's recent revelations about her relationship with Brad Pitt have captivated the world. What prompted her to break her silence and share truths once hidden?
It only bothers me when it's a certain kind of story. Like sometimes there's a story about where it undermines some other relationship I have or something, you know, a married man. It just bothers me.
Her disclosures have sparked renewed debates, offering a deeper look into their complex story of love, loss, and personal struggles. These revelations challenge the public's long-held perceptions, shedding light on the untold side of their split and revealing what was previously kept under wraps. The unseen fallout of their divorce. The divorce between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt in 2016 was more than just the end of a high-profile marriage. It set off a cascade of consequences that would ripple through their personal lives and public personas for years to come. While the world focused on the shock of their split, beneath the surface lay complicated legal battles, custody disputes, and a shift in their public images that few fully understood at the time. The fallout was not just legal or emotional. It touched every aspect of their lives, quietly reshaping who they were both individually and as co-parents. Many fans assumed the divorce was a clean break, but the reality was far more complex. Confidential sources revealed that tensions lingered long after headlines faded, fueled by differences over child custody and personal grievances that neither party wanted to air openly. The public learned little about the private struggles, but those closest knew the separation was a deeply painful process marked by mistrust and frustration. Behind the cameras, emotions ran high as they navigated a new reality without the closeness they once shared. The media frenzy amplified every little detail, turning their personal strife into headline fodder that made reconciliation or understanding nearly impossible. Both Angelina and Brad faced intense scrutiny, and the pressure of that spotlight shaped their choices and public statements. The aftermath of the divorce was a battleground not only between two individuals, but between their images and narratives shaped by the press. This created a backdrop where truth often became tangled with speculation. One of the most significant, yet less visible consequences was the toll the divorce took on their children. Custody arrangements became points of contention, with each parent trying to create stability amid upheaval. This ongoing dynamic introduced a layer of complexity, not just in legal terms, but within family relationships. The ripple effects of their split reached into the emotional core of their family life, setting the stage for the struggles that would define their post-divorce years. Angelina's eventual decision to speak more candidly about the fallout shines a light on the unseen battles fought during and after their separation. Her revelations suggest that the public story was only the tip of the iceberg, glossing over deeper grievances and hardships. This perspective shifts how fans view their breakup, not as a single event, but as an ongoing process filled with pain, growth, and unresolved issues. Her voice brings the unseen into focus, challenging earlier assumptions. Beyond personal consequences, the divorce affected their careers differently. Brad Pitt faced a period of introspection and a subtle shift in public reception, while Angelina's image became more closely tied to her advocacy and humanitarian work. The divorce seemed to mark a crossroads, forcing each to redefine themselves apart from celebrity couple status. This transformation was intertwined with their private fallout, reflecting how personal turmoil can alter public trajectories. Financial implications, though never fully disclosed, also played a role in the post-divorce landscape. Negotiations over wealth division and custody expenditures added pressure behind the scenes. While both held substantial fortunes, the complexity of their assets and shared responsibilities meant that money was another layer in an already fraught situation. Handling these matters quietly was crucial to maintaining some semblance of control amidst public chaos. The unseen fallout ultimately reveals that divorce, especially under the public eye, is never a simple story of two people walking away. It ripples through relationships, reputations, and personal well-being. Angelina and Brad's experience underscores how private pain and public perception often collide, leaving wounds long after headlines fade. It is within this hidden terrain that many of the truths Angelina has now exposed begin to take shape, hinting at the deeper story beneath their famous split. Understanding this complex aftermath prepares us to recognize the early signs of strain during their marriage, moments that hinted at fractures beneath Hollywood's glamorous surface. Early signs of strain. Before their dramatic divorce, cracks in Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's relationship had quietly formed, though few outside their closest circles fully grasped the extent of the strain. Reports from friends and insiders pointed to mounting pressure as the years of marriage unfolded. Pressure not only from their busy careers, but from unresolved personal challenges, both faced individually and together. These early signs often went unnoticed by fans caught up in the fairy tale romance, but behind the scenes, things were shifting. One significant factor was the relentless demands of their respective film projects, philanthropic ventures, and public appearances. Constant travel and differing schedules meant that time together grew scarce, weakening the intimacy that had once sparked their initial connection. Such separation weighed heavily, creating emotional distance that neither seemed to manage well. The challenge of balancing love and career under the spotlight proved more difficult than anticipated. The couple faced multiple interpersonal disputes, which grew more frequent between them. The sources showed that the couple had two major disagreements, which extended beyond their normal daily conflicts because they disagreed on their parenting methods and family priorities. Angelina dedicated herself to social causes while she raised her children, which caused her to argue with Brad, who preferred a more relaxed approach to life. The two people who married each other built up their differences until they created relationship problems that needed professional assistance to solve. People spread rumors about how friends and outside influences affected their relationship decisions, but the couple kept their actual decision-making process a secret. The situation revealed that people outside the relationship applied their views and demands, which made it more difficult for them to communicate. The person confronted difficulties when trying to balance his public reputation with his personal growth, since his public persona and actual life existed in a state of disconnection. The couple faced standard marital difficulties, while their relationship problems stemmed from their health issues and behavioral disorders. The sources reported that the person experienced two different types of stress, which resulted in him using substances and having urgent situations that ended in verbal fights. The two parties involved at that time did not share their relationship details, but the evidence showed that their relationship had serious problems that needed attention. The person needed understanding and support, but he could not find any because of his high-profile existence. The couple showed their dedication to maintaining a public appearance of togetherness during their relationship difficulties. Their combined public appearances through red carpet events and their work together created an image that showed strength and stability, which other people found admirable. The exhibit, which they created to show their relationship status, concealed their actual discontent and exhaustion, which demonstrates how frequently couples in show business experience relationship problems. The facade of harmony can be deceiving when the realities behind closed doors tell a different story. Friends and colleagues noticed the changing dynamics in their interactions, pointing to more frequent disagreements and less public affection. The relationship between them became difficult to maintain because they had to fight against their natural connection, which used to come easily. The couple would experience upcoming events, which would lead to their relationship becoming visible to everyone. People often overlook the first signs of something's existence because they exist until the moment when they become evident to others. The first conflicts between the two partners created conditions that would later lead to their relationship breakdown, as media attention increased the connection between conflicts, which eventually resulted in their final separation. The growing divergence between Angelina and Brad developed into a public conflict, which reached its peak during their highly publicized separation, which became one of the most famous breakups in Hollywood history. As the spotlight grew heavier, the media's role became undeniable, shaping perceptions and influencing the emotional landscape of this fraught relationship. Media's role in the breakup. No celebrity relationship exists in a vacuum, especially when it involves stars as globally recognized as Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. From the earliest days of their romance to the final moments of their divorce, the media played a relentless and often intrusive role in magnifying every triumph and turmoil. Headlines, rumors, and tabloid speculation shaped public opinion and added pressure that few couples, celebrity or not, could withstand. The intense media scrutiny began as curiosity and fascination, but quickly evolved into something more invasive. Paparazzi chased their every move, while entertainment outlets dissected their interactions for clues about the state of their relationship. This invasive attention created an atmosphere where privacy was nearly impossible, fostering mistrust and frustration between the pair. No disagreement or pause escaped public consumption. Tabloid sensationalism often distorted facts or circulated unverified stories, making it difficult for the couple to control their narrative. Gossip columns thrived on speculation, from rumors of cheating to reports of substance problems and volatile arguments. These stories amplified tension, sometimes forcing Angelina and Brad to issue statements or take legal action to protect their reputations. This cycle of rumor and response became emotionally and financially draining. Media narratives frequently painted Angelina and Brad in contrasting lights, an angelic humanitarian versus a troubled actor, exacerbating existing tensions. Fans and critics were often divided, picking sides fueled by biased reports or selective coverage. This public polarization translated into personal stress as the couple navigated not only their marriage, but an increasingly hostile court of public opinion. The media's portrayals influenced how they were seen both privately and professionally. As their children became involved, media ethics faced greater scrutiny. Paparazzi harassment of their family drove legal battles to shield the children from exposure, highlighting the darker side of fame. Protective measures became necessary, reflecting the profound impact that media intrusion had on the family's dynamics. The fight for privacy became a battle in itself, diverting energy from healing and cooperation. The media's role extended into the divorce proceedings, where every update was dissected, often sensationalized for clicks and ratings. Legal filings, custody battles, and personal revelations were turned into headlines that left little room for nuance or compassion. This highly public unraveling complicated negotiations and added an extra layer of challenge for both parties. The pressure to present a certain image sometimes conflicted with genuine emotions. Despite the media's aggressive presence, Angelina and Brad showed moments of resilience and attempts to push back against intrusive narratives. Press releases, interviews, and legal statements sought to correct misinformation and protect privacy. Yet, control over their story was limited, and frustration mounted. The media's constant gaze transformed private conflicts into a public spectacle. Ultimately, media involvement magnified the difficulties of an already fragile relationship, catalyzing misunderstandings and fueling divisiveness. The couple's narrative became a battleground where truth, fiction, and speculation met, making the healing process all the more complicated. Understanding this dynamic is essential to grasping the full weight of their breakup and the reasons behind Angelina's recent revelations. The intertwining of media pressure and personal conflict set the stage for Angelina's legal battles and custody fight, where the public eye remained firmly fixed on every move. Angelina's legal battles and custody fight. Following their separation, Angelina Jolie entered one of the most complex legal battles of her life, centered primarily around custody of their 6 children. The fight was fierce and prolonged, drawing considerable public attention and adding layers of stress to an already turbulent time. Angelina's primary concern was to protect her children and ensure a stable environment, a position she communicated repeatedly through her legal team. The custody battle was about more than just visitation. It was a fierce negotiation over the children's welfare amid conflicting narratives. Angelina pursued sole physical custody initially, citing concerns about Brad Pitt's behavior and the children's safety. Reports indicated that an incident aboard a private plane in 2016 involving Pitt and one of their children had serious consequences, prompting Child Protective Services to investigate. Although no charges were filed, Angelina's legal strategy focused heavily on ensuring that the children's best interests were prioritized above all else. This focus informed many of her decisions throughout the custody dispute. The public's strong interest in the legal case, together with media speculation that developed throughout the process, created challenges that stopped the parents from settling their arguments. Angelina's legal team worked to make their court materials private, but some information became public, which led to fans believing both the rumors and the official declarations. The public examination of their lives created challenges for both parents who needed to find a way to defend their family's privacy while dealing with their open public divorce. The battle over custody rights created additional disputes, together with financial matters, which became the next battleground. Angelina sought to secure adequate support for the children's needs, including education, healthcare, and living expenses. The dispute process became more complicated because both parties needed to negotiate the distribution of Brad Pitt's substantial wealth, together with their combined properties. The divorce process for them stayed focused on their financial matters, which later developed into a new family relationship pattern. Angelina worked with her legal team to stop media organizations from invading their private family space, which would put their children at risk. The family needed protective court orders to prevent paparazzi and tabloids from approaching their house because their children's needs extended beyond custody rights. The approach demonstrated her belief that she had a greater obligation because she needed to balance her responsibilities as a mother with her duties as an entertainer who needed to protect her personal space. The emotional toll on Angelina during this period was immense. The combination of motherhood, public scrutiny, and her demanding legal proceedings created severe mental and physical exhaustion for her. Her friends described her as a person who showed strong willpower but needed help because she faced difficulties with her role as a mother and guardian. After she spent years maintaining silence about the custody battle, she chose to speak about specific details because she wanted to direct the story. Angelina maintained her message throughout all obstacles because her children deserved to receive her complete focus. Her ability to remain determined during difficult times and negative feedback came from this point of view. People who thought that parents should prioritize their children above everything else gave her their backing. Both parties worked to establish mutual understanding during custody negotiations, which moved forward at a slow pace. The parties involved showed they needed to work together for their children's stability even though they had different opinions about certain matters. The parties involved in the situation established a process that allowed them to work together despite the difficulties they encountered so that they could reach a more stable family arrangement. These efforts set the stage for Brad Pitt's response and how his public image evolved in the years following their separation. Brad Pitt's response and public image. In the wake of the divorce and custody battle, Brad Pitt navigated a complex path of personal and public transformation. Initially, his response was tempered, focusing on his love for his children and a desire to repair fractured relationships. Over time, however, his image evolved from that of the carefree Hollywood heartthrob to a more introspective and rehabilitated figure, shaped in part by the challenges brought on by his separation from Angelina. Brad publicly acknowledged the difficulties he faced, including seeking therapy and working to address personal issues that likely contributed to the breakdown of their marriage. This candidness marked a turning point in how the public perceived him, not merely as a movie star, but as a man confronting vulnerability and growth. His efforts to take responsibility for his actions earned both praise and skepticism, reflecting the complexity of public judgment. Managing the intense media scrutiny remained a continuous struggle. Pitt found himself defending against rumors and speculation that questioned his fitness as a father and his character. His legal team and publicists worked to balance maintaining privacy with protecting his reputation, a difficult task in a media environment eager for sensationalism. These efforts helped gradually shift the narrative from scandal to redemption for some observers. Professionally, Brad pursued a period of impressive roles and critical acclaim, further reshaping his public image. Films released after the divorce, such as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, showcased a nuanced, mature actor capable of reinventing himself. This artistic resurgence coincided with his personal journey, allowing audiences to connect with a refreshed version of Brad Pitt that appeared more grounded and thoughtful. His approach to co-parenting also became part of his public identity. Statements emphasizing his commitment to his children and respect for Angelina's role in their lives aimed to restore his standing as a responsible parent. Interviews and appearances increasingly emphasized family unity despite their differences, signaling an attempt to rebuild bridges both privately and publicly. Despite moments of reconciliation, tension between Brad and Angelina often simmered beneath the surface, complicating media narratives. Some reports suggested lingering conflicts, while others highlighted instances of cooperation. This duality reflected the realities of any post-divorce relationship, but was magnified by celebrity status and fan expectations. Such complexities made it difficult for the public to fully understand the depth of their interactions. Brad's ongoing philanthropic work also played a part in reshaping his image. He continued to support various humanitarian causes, a facet that reinforced his earnestness beyond tabloid headlines. This helped remind the public of his broader commitments and softened some of the harsher opinions formed during the divorce saga. Mental health advocacy became another important aspect of his post-divorce persona. By speaking openly about therapy and personal growth, Brad contributed to destigmatizing seeking help, an important narrative in today's cultural climate. These efforts aligned well with the more mature and socially conscious version of himself he was cultivating. Brad Pitt's evolution following his divorce from Angelina is a testament to resilience under pressure. His responses, both public and private, shaped how fans and critics alike re-evaluated his character and role as a father. This evolving image provides essential context for understanding the deeper revelations Angelina has recently chosen to share and the ongoing story behind their fractured past. The complexities of Brad's personal and professional journey now lead us directly into the private conflicts and incidents that further illuminate what went unnoticed behind closed doors. Private conflicts revealed. Behind the public legal battles and media controversies lay a series of private conflicts that deeply affected Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's relationship. Insiders and close friends have revealed that tensions sometimes escalated into emotional and verbal confrontations that further fractured their bond. These struggles were often kept out of the public eye, but contributed significantly to the deterioration of trust and communication between them. What the world saw as a glamorous couple masked a turbulent undercurrent of unresolved issues. One well-documented incident involved an argument during a family flight in 2016, reported as a turning point that triggered investigations and widened the rift between them. The information about their conflicts remains classified, yet it shows how severe their conflicts had become and how their conflicts affected their children. This episode showed that their marital conflicts exceeded normal relationship issues because they developed into dangerous situations. Angelina increased her family's security measures through her protective requests. Sources who know both actors provide extra information that shows how the two people developed a pattern of miscommunication, which created emotional distance between them throughout their relationship. The couple's private issues remained unresolved because their growing frustrations reached a boiling point after they experienced difficulties with parental duties while under public observation. The couple's different ways of handling stress created problems because their distinct personality traits resulted in miscommunication, which disrupted their shared moments of understanding. The couple faced increased difficulties when they needed to present themselves as a single entity. The couple's private problems, which occurred at home, focused on how to raise their children because both parents wanted what was best for their offspring, but they could not agree on which way to achieve that. Angelina demonstrates her active protection approach when she establishes her rules through her request for family boundaries and organization. Brad preferred to give his children the freedom to choose their activities, while he maintained his casual approach to parenting. The family experienced ongoing conflicts because their different belief systems clashed in private situations, which showed how these values affected their family relationships. The excessive media scrutiny created additional problems which disrupted their personal relationship. The couple had difficulty resolving their issues because their personal space was invaded by others who made judgments about their situation. The need for secure areas to conduct talks faced obstacles because people worried about their discussions being leaked to the public. People who faced persistent intrusions developed increased feelings of exposed weakness, which made them unable to communicate their real thoughts. The relationship between them maintained its existence through moments that showed their genuine care for one another. The friends observed that Angelina and Brad both desired to safeguard their family, yet they encountered difficulties which showed their readiness to change their behavior after hearing others. The two sides worked together during these uncommon times, which created a complex situation that extended beyond media reports, which showed their relationship always included more than just hostile interactions. The emotional dimensions of the situation extended throughout multiple areas, which created competing emotional states. The couple's private differences emerged from their separate methods of handling their past traumas, which included both their challenging early life experiences and their personal bereavements. The two actors brought emotional distress, which affected their ability to handle stressful situations and their interactions with one another. The history of the situation created conflicts and misunderstandings, which became more serious because people lacked proper assistance during critical moments. The present context reveals which factors created deep divisions that resulted in painful conflicts between both parties. The weight of these private challenges inevitably resonated beyond just the two of them, exposing the profound ramifications for their family as a whole. The impact on their family. The dissolution of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's marriage had profound effects on their children, who found themselves navigating a complex family dynamic under extraordinary circumstances. The shift from a united household to co-parenting amidst public scrutiny created emotional challenges that required careful navigation by both parents. Protecting the children from media intrusion and ensuring their emotional well-being became paramount concerns throughout the process. Their 6 children, a blend of biological and adopted siblings, faced the reality of their parents' separation in a highly publicized environment. Maintaining a sense of stability was a difficult task, as changes in living arrangements, routines, and parental availability unfolded. Both Angelina and Brad worked to create safe, nurturing spaces for the children, often shielding them from the media and public discussions as much as possible. The family's unity and resilience in the face of disruption were continually tested. Reports from close sources indicate that caretakers and therapists played essential roles in supporting the children through the transition. Experts helped the family address emotional responses such as confusion, sadness, and anxiety that naturally accompany divorce. Both parents recognized the importance of professional guidance in managing the children's adjustment and trauma, demonstrating a commitment to their overall health beyond the usual challenges of separation. Despite efforts, the children experienced the strain of divided loyalties and changes in family dynamics. Navigating relationships with both parents under divided custody arrangements required maturity and adaptability that even young adults find difficult. The balancing act between households sometimes led to feelings of instability, making the protective efforts by Angelina and Brad even more critical. Their goal was to maintain a sense of normalcy amid upheaval. Public curiosity and media intrusion exacerbated the family's challenges. Privacy breaches, paparazzi presence, and speculative reporting often interfered with the children's ability to live ordinary lives. Angelina, in particular, campaigned for stronger legal protections and media restrictions to safeguard her children's well-being. This advocacy highlighted the unique difficulties faced by children of celebrity divorces compared with those in private families. The siblings' bonds became a source of strength in an otherwise uncertain environment. Their shared experiences and mutual support helped mitigate some of the emotional impact, providing comfort and a sense of belonging. Both Angelina and Brad emphasized the importance of family cohesion, encouraging the children to rely on one another through difficult times. This internal connection became a vital anchor in their lives. The story of their family sets the stage for understanding why, after so many years, Angelina chose this moment to break her silence and share her truth. Angelina's motivations to speak out now. After a decade of silence, Angelina Jolie's decision to openly share her side of the story is both significant and poignant. The timing suggests a readiness to move beyond the pain and to reclaim her narrative on her own terms. For years, much of the public perception was shaped by rumors, speculation, and partial accounts, but her recent disclosures aim to provide clarity and context that had been missing before. This moment reflects a carefully considered choice to highlight truths long overshadowed by headlines. One motivating factor appears to be Angelina's desire to protect her children by addressing lingering misconceptions. By speaking candidly, she seeks to dispel false narratives that could continue to affect their well-being and public image. These revelations may serve not only as a form of personal catharsis, but also as a shield for her family, reinforcing her ongoing commitment to prioritize their emotional safety. She recognizes that public understanding can influence private healing. Her advocacy work functions as the primary reason behind her decision. She has dedicated her efforts to support mental health initiatives, trauma recovery programs, and family preservation methods throughout her entire life. Her present disclosures aim to show the actual situations that families encounter when they stay inside their homes because it helps to break down social barriers and promotes real talks about challenging family dynamics. Through her platform, she shows the complex nature of her life experience, which helps society understand how families build trust and cope with traumatic events. The need to reclaim narrative control, which media outlets have distorted for decades, serves as her main driving force. The media has presented Angelina's story through gossip columns and exaggerated news reports, which failed to show her complete story. Through her direct presentation of facts, she has the ability to present her information according to her own vision. The public needs to see how simple explanations break down because her transparent approach shows her power. Her timing may show how she has developed as a person and achieved emotional recovery. People need a complete decade to gain wisdom about their past experiences and their emotional process. Angelina herself has spoken in various interviews about the importance of mental health and therapy, suggesting that she now possesses the strength and clarity to revisit painful memories constructively. The new chapter shows personal growth because it allows him to recognize his past damage at a manageable level. Angelina Jolie's revelations remind us that even the most public stories hold hidden depths and personal truths. Her courage to speak out after 10 years sheds light on the complexities of love, loss, and growth. If you found this video insightful, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the headlines.